Hi, this video is for Crazyrebecca, and here's my cat Moxie, who likes to just cause trouble. She's a street girl, and she also always sits with her paw like that, like she's ready to just escape at a moment. But she likes to be in the center of things. So I wanted to show Rebecca, this is what I do with some of my ephemera that's really old. This is a calendar from 1915. It's never been used, perfect condition, and I just framed it and used some scrap paper for the back, and I really like it, even with a Christmas theme. I think it's really, really cute. This is a book I just finished for a friend who's going through a very tough time, and Rebecca sometimes does junk journaling for friends and puts things that interest them in. So my friend loves Alice in Wonderland. Okay, so I have this Alice in Wonderland fabric that I just put on a not very big book. And I bought the book at the dollar store because I just didn't want to have to fill too big a book. Unfortunately, it's very fat, so I'll have to tie it with a ribbon. So it starts off, this is from an old book, and she can put her name there. I found a really beat up, horrible copy of Alice in Wonderland and felt it was okay to cut it up. So we start with some Alice pictures. And this is from a coloring book saying that we're friends. This is a gift for her. Life doesn't have to be perfect to be wonderful. In the depths of winter, I finally learned that within me lay an invincible summer. And I cut off the name, that's from Camus. And what I did is I found these in a Tim Holtz pack. They're library cards. So I had friends of hers take photographs of themselves reading because my friend was a librarian. And she still loves reading. Who doesn't love reading? So this is her friend Jeff reading. So he goes in there, and then this book had different illustrations. It had the original illustrations and some added ones. So I scanned those and put them in here. And of course, this is my favorite part, is just the tail that goes down like this. Love more, less panic. And that was actually the name of the book here. And I just cut that off the cover. This is one of my favorites. Success consists of getting up once oftener than you fall down. And I have really followed that in life. Okay. And this is just about do you, and another picture from the book, The Cheshire Cat, and just don't be bullied. Because even though we're all grown up, there are adult bullies, and it's very difficult to deal with them in life. Here's just some old sheet music, and here's another friend reading a book, and he's in a pocket. Just a reminder that she has so many friends that love her and care for her. Here's my daughter dressed up for Halloween as Alice, and this is I think Graphic 45 had an Alice Halloween version, and someone sent me some papers from that. I really thank them. Here's another thing. Do all the good you can. And, of course, reading is, free knowledge. This is just an ad for an old bookcase. And these are, of course, I just love these little peel and stick sayings and such. Sorry if the video is going in and out of focus because I'm just holding it. Here's the Mad Tea Party, the quote, and this is the illustration from the book. So we have the original and the newer one. Of course, we all love the original best, but I've never seen these before. Here is a picture of my friend with our mutual friend, Mr. James Randi, which is how we met, through him. And there's, of course, the Lewis Carroll quote, But there's Mr. Randy. He's still alive, and if anyone wants to look up James Randi, he's a wonderful, wonderful person who brought friendship to a lot of people. And there's Moxie's tail. She's going to help out. The next part is a little confusing. It's an old ad about chickens. And we have chickens here. And this is a photograph of my friend's mother. And she likes chickens. Here is a photograph of the state where my friend and I both grew up. And the city where she worked. And here's another, of course, friend reading a book, being very funny because he's reading a comic book. And here's another Alice. And this is a vintage ad for Alice in Wonderland for $3. So it must have been quite a nice copy. Then we have my friend in her own pocket, more library things. And of course, I picked out the dictionary page of the Raven. I love old dictionaries, and I like trying to find a word that really is relevant to whatever page that I'm on. Okay, here's another Alice. And I live in the Monadnock region, so I found an ad for Monadnock Flower Gardens. And of course, roses play a part in the Alice stories. Here's another picture. I like this. A lot of my pictures come from art books or antique journals, and you can often find older copies for like $1. But even a new magazine, say Art or Art and Antiques, will have a lot of good photographs you can use. So this is the girl, but then here's the close-up of the book that she's holding. This is a game that we both still like to play. We must be the only people on the planet still playing that game. And of course, here's my cat Moxie and some birds. Tim Holtz, of course. And she does the most beautiful needlework I have ever seen. She did my cat, Moxie, and it looks like a photograph. She's just so talented. So I put this old ad in. Here's a picture of her with shoes. It's because we all like shoes. Nothing wrong with shoes. Here I am in a pocket, and I'm sitting on the grave of one of my favorite authors, who's hard to read, in Paris, and I'm holding a copy of his book. I'll get that back in there. And I have some really hilarious critiques of books from the London Illustrated News, which I found an old copy of, and they're just really hysterical. Like, if you can continue to go on reading, and very sharp British humor in the critiques. And I quoted a Demi Lovato song. It's easy to feel like you don't need help, but it's harder to walk on your own. And that's very true. And this painting I found, I think, looks so much like my friend. And a few rules for spelling, because of course she knows her grammar and spelling. And very kind-hearted does not begin to describe her. So instead of just saying a card saying, I hope you're doing well, I'm going to send her this book just to remind her that she has so many like-minded friends that are thinking about her, and hope that things are going better soon.